LGD.Forever Young versus LGD. So sister squads against each other. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by the great, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryu. How you doing?
Remaining.
Good, man. It's pretty early for us. Let's crack a dawn casting.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, but it's how it goes. I went to bed last night or yesterday morning, and then I basically slept all day long. So I'm on the nocturnal schedule right now.
Oh, nice. You got that bear hibernation going. Feels good.
It's great. But yeah, these teams, they have a storied history against each other. We can talk a little bit about it real quickly. Just a couple of days ago, they played against each other in the Epicenter qualifiers to see who it was that was going to move on to that event. And it ended up being that LFY actually knocked them out in 3 games. So it came down to the very wire at the end of it. And LGD.F.Y, they're the ones that are going to Epicenter, not LGD. And the other big thing is, you might notice Afu is playing for LGD.Forever Young. If you guys missed that, that is the Earth Spirit player that made a ton of waves on Warriors Gaming at the Boston Major, and he's made the trip over to China as well.
Yep. You have to do that, man. Just like Ice did back with DK. Sometimes you just got to go to China. Better opportunities. A lot of SCA players went to Secret as well. So there's a lot of merit, and then I guess as well, a lot of teams are coming over here. There's DC has what, 2 now? I think Forev and Abed.
Yeah, and Abed, yeah.
So SCA branching out in the world. That's pretty cool. And then there's just a lot of top players now on a lot of top teams.
Totally. And I want to mention again just a little bit more context to where they're at. This is the winners final. It's a best of 5, so we're going to be in for the long haul. And then EHOME.Keen and Vici Gaming are the 2 teams that are waiting in the lower bracket. That game is going to be played, I believe, tomorrow, about 21 hours from right now. This series was delayed because LGD did just finish off their Summit 7 qualifier run, where they're still competing in that one, which was pretty cool. There's still a best of 5 that's going to take place tomorrow in that event. So much freaking Dota going on. But the big thing to note is that LGD have played 2 best of 3s leading up to this. They beat IG, and then they just beat out EHOME too. IG, it took them 3 games, and then EHOME, it only took them 2. But potential for them 10 games in one day. I mean, I have a feeling that they're going to want to try and like close this out and run just easy strats. And Mag Jug, it's about as stock and standard as you can get.
Yeah, they normally thrive with their clockwork, and then finally a team is banning it out early on here. What they like to do is have 2 sets of initiators, like a clockwork or a clockwork and storm, and a clockwork and Sand King, that makes sure that the clockwork, when he initiates, that all the enemy team kind of collapses on the clockwork, and then all the Sand King either can go for the big epicenters, or the Storm Spirit can go into the back line. So they've been playing really well around with the 2 initiators. So I'm going to be interested to see how they play around the Magnus and the Jug. And how they're going to deal with this Treant as well. Treant is a very strong counter to, I feel, Juggernaut at times, because you're able to, if he casts his Omni Slash, you're able to put up the living armor on somebody, and then you just did like 0 damage, it feel like, with your ulti. So you have to be worried about that. Overgrowth as well. Super strong against Jug. It forces him to cast Manta Style early, or actually always go for Manta Style. But at the other side of things, Troll Warlord 1-on-1 against Jug is super strong for Troll as well. So the matchup advantage for the carry so far kind of goes to Forever Young right now.
Yeah. Well, and I think that when I've been looking back at the games that they've played, where it's Troll Warlord, and just in general, the way that LGD.Forever Young like to play is they always get really good building hitters. Like, no matter what it is, whether they go for a DP or whether they take a Shadow Fiend, Terrorblade, it's consistently that type of a play. And then they have Troll as like that buff, you know, with the attack speed aura, to make sure that at least one of their cores is going to be able to take the buildings down after a team fight. And so we tend to see things like a DK or like a Shadow Fiend or like a Terrorblade in conjunction with this other building hitter, the Troll Warlord. And then LGD, like, They are just kind of insane. They just do whatever they want. They want to fight. They get 2 initiators, like you were saying, instead of the 2 building hitters. So a mixture of styles, and I want to see if LGD have come up with something new here that's going to allow them to take the game, since they did end up losing 2-1 in that series in Epicenter. CM now taken, still one of the most popular heroes in the patch. I feel like nobody really bans this hero out, but it's still always so good.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't ban out a CM. There's just a lot of more potential with roamers and stuff like that. So let's see if LGD want to pick up Monkey King here. Normally they do opening sometimes with CM Monkey King a lot. They do love their Monkey King, but at the same time, maybe they don't have that much success with the Monkey King against a tree. Maybe that's why they're don't want to go for that. And then yeah, we talked about the Sand King earlier that they really love to play, and then this is another good strategy to have. It's also really good against Living Armor once you have the Epicenter out on someone. Take off those ticks. Yeah. So they're starting to have better ways to deal with the Living Armor, CM freezing field, and then just holding a target in place with the Frostbite ticks as well. Mm-hmm. So they have 2 better ways with that, and they also save their last pick mid. That's going to be good for them. LGD, like you said. Bam. Nailed it. Death Prophet. And then this is a very strong hero, I feel, just against Juggernaut too at times. I mean, the way that people build Treant nowadays is always going to be like Solar Crest or Blink Dagger, as we always see. And then if you put that onto the Death Prophet, and then she builds tanky items like Shivas and Octarine, it feels like Juggernaut is underwhelming when trying to man-fight her, especially with her ulti on.
Reserve time.
Well, and now you also are left with this sort of interesting decision too, is, you know, LGD.Forever Young, they have that offlane hero as the last pick. Tidehunter has been one of the most consistently banned out and picked heroes for both of these organizations, believe it or not, which is kind of crazy to me, but it's something that they could think about. Excuse me, it's mainly for LGD. LGD.Forever Young haven't been taken as much. I like the ABBA ban. Is there anything else that's really around? Omni Knight taken out of the pool as well. Legion seems like a possibility, but not great this game. It's not like against those illusion heroes or anything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to stop the duel until you get a BKB. Maybe they want to play along a Darkseer. Darkseer plus Treant is good if you have the tree in place, but that's like, it's not as good as a Slardar, so it's a little bit more risk taking. So instead, what they want to go for is a Bat Rider. It's a good hero, gives you a great initiation, more vision, more chase, so that the Disruptor is going to be really good. They have Tree to scout out for Disruptor glimpses now, and then as well as Bat Rider. Bat Rider can go in, lasso somebody, and then if anybody chases, Disruptor can always place his ulti down, or he can just glimpse somebody as well. So this Disruptor right now synergizes very well with LGD's lineup. Forever Young. I'm just going to say LF Young.
Or you can just do LFY. That's the other one. It's great.
LFY.
Tinker.
I think that this game is going to be very interesting. It's like so clear what each team wants to do, and that's what you would hope out of the first game of a best of 5. It sets the tone. If one of these teams can win with their particular strategy, then it's the next team that has to respond, and then you get that back and forth in a best of 5 where you're sort of trading off strategies and then having to come up with countermeasures. And I gotta say, I think I like LFY's draft a little bit more. I feel like the Treant Protector might be that X factor Afu on this one to help make sure the lanes go well, so that way you can come out of the laning stage snowballing towards objectives. I really like what they're doing. What about you? I mean, for LGD, it's basically just hold on and wait until you get to the late game and then find a big RP for the win, right?
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, with this last pick, Tinker, it's weird because it doesn't give you the tower push that you desperately need against a tree. And then the Bat Rider is a really good hero against Tinker. Tree is also as well. He can just go out and scout. They have a lot of countermeasures for the Tinker, but at the same time, if Tinker does get out of control, then they can control this whole map. The split push from LGD or LFY is not that good at all. Like the 2 supports, they don't really push out lanes. But Death Prophet does, and so does Bat Rider a little bit. But they won't feel safe if there's like a Sand King and a Magnus with a blink at times. So Bat Rider is kind of like that one true split pusher here,
Right.
where he can feel the most safe, but he's the one that needs to also be looking for those kills. So it'll be interesting to see how they rotate around the map. LGD, I feel like they need to get a ton of kills, like you said, where they can then transition into a lot of objectives, but they're going to be slow objectives because of the tree on the enemy team.
Yeah, and I think that that's going to be sort of the problem. Oh, God, I forgot about this. This is the new thing where you can see the allied chat once you're in the game. I like how the Chinese teams are still using the English, like, announcers and casters for their thing. That's kind of cool to me.
I wonder if it's translated, though.
I don't think so, because it's the nose. Oh, Motail, he knows what's up. That was huge. All right, they smoke up, and so they realize that the Magnus is away here in the trees, and they're going to find him. He's stuck now to the side. He's going to get the Thunder Strike off as well, and Mag taking a good bit of damage. I wonder if they could have baited that out and brought like another hero to find First Blood.
I'm surprised they didn't just body block him. Maybe he didn't want to get cliffed on Disruptor, but at the same time, I think he could have blocked him for 2 seconds there. Surprised they didn't try and do more harassment or just even use a kinetic field to hold him in place. But at the same time, he's going to go back to base. He's not going to be able to get that free pool skip that he was looking for.
Yeah. I also have to say, I appreciate that Ame is going with the better Juggernaut set. I think that this set is like better in some ways than the Arcana. The one that was in that.
I mean, this one
treasure.
this makes you just look like, okay, so you have one set that makes you look like Omni Knight, which is this one, and then you got the other set that makes you look like PA. So it doesn't, I don't think it's a better set.
Oh my God, Afu just stole his rune as well. Ame, GG. And he's going boots first as well on the Jug. What do you think about that choice? Like, because there's a good amount of harassment that can be leveled out. I guess that this is just more like trying to find kills in lane.
I think it's fine in this situation. It would have been better if he had gotten the rune, so he could have got the magic stick as well as the stout shield. But I think it's good to have boots against the Bat Rider, and you know the tree always likes to normally start with poison orb.
Yeah.
There we go. Good
Yeah.
start. Afu should be dead here.
Yeah, they got him. Frostbite as well as the Blade Fury. Pops the Fairy. Fire is going to be brought down. First blood drawn by Ame. Boots paying off right there. And that's going to finish off his stuff.
Juked. He almost got juked there. That was close to not being a first blood, but baited in. They didn't place a ward down. Afu trying to figure out where their ward. Oh, it's right here. So they didn't see the CM rotation, but they see the CM jungling.
And Afu will soak up some of that experience as well off to the side. But yeah, this lane feels like it might be where more of the action could take place. DP versus the Tinker. There shouldn't be a kill here, right?
I think Tinker's more likely to get a kill. It kind of comes down to the runes.
Okay.
I think the Tinker does a lot more in the early game, whereas DP she needs time to build up her Spirit Siphon to where it has more charges and it's more effective in lane. Else you can't really trade right clicks.
Okay. Oh, and meanwhile, top also Magnus getting a lot out of this lane for himself. Troll Warlord so far 5 and 2, and kind of traded off as Afu again gonna get ran at a little bit here. Can hang out for a moment as it does look like there is still a Sentry Ward in the area, so they have vision on Afu and he's gonna be brought down again. No way out of that one.
And that's really big too because they give CM level 2 now. She also has 5 stick charges for this lane, and then she can just do that whenever she wants again. And then meanwhile, Sand King's going to be stealing runes here. So this is just terrible start for Afu, and then trying to rotate around his tree. But at the same time, he is giving the levels over to Bat Rider. If Bat Rider was solo down here, he wouldn't be getting any experience. So at the same time, you might think he's feeding, but it's helping. It's helping the Bat Riders to actually get levels in this bottom lane.
All right, that's fair enough. Maybe he can start transitioning in towards like going in trying to mess with the Magnus a little bit if he wants to. Mag and the Bat are about on the same level. Did he get any stacks off while he was over in the jungle? It doesn't look like it. So even though he ended up missing the rune, isn't going to really be able to do too much more to help here as Bat Rider's going to be pushed back. and instead is going to head to the jungle himself. And we'll just see some soaking up of experience here to the side. They do have another sentry ward if they want to try and drop it onto Afu, but I don't know if they're going to fully commit to that route.
I just noticed that this game is either not ticketed or it's just bugged.
Yeah, it's not ticketed.
Feels bad, man. Can't even tell the people's names anymore.
I know, it sucks. They did drop that sentry ward now, so Afu is going to be found, and this should be a pretty quick and easy kill. Trying to walk out of range, needs to try and juke it, and is going to be able to. They pop the Carapace, but he's out of there. So they commit a lot of mana, and not going to be able to find that Burrow Strike blind either. Looks like he is going to continue to soak up this experience. Afu playing it cool under pressure.
Lane, a little bit of dive on the Tinker, but doesn't have any more spirit siphons to really work with. Meanwhile, Batrider has a haste here. Gonna run down Sand King. Doesn't have Firefly just yet.
Yeah, one more second. Can go for it if he wants to try for it, but it's scary against the CM, and he's gonna sort of throw out a couple right clicks, go secure a rune, and then probably head back to lane after the fact. So probably a good decision there for Batrider. Maybe he could have gone towards mid as up here in the top lane. Magnus getting ran down a little bit by the Disruptor as well. And we are going to have a kill on Afu down here bottom.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, they're going to be diving. Tinker should be mid.
Yeah.
Bidder. Good rotation in from Batrider.
Yeah. Helping him out a little bit. We have got level 2 on tree now, so we can help out other lanes as well as try and keep this tower topped off. But you can already see some early commitment towards trying to take this down. Ame 2 points up in healing ward already.
That's a little bit surprising, seeing the level 2 healing ward. Like you said, he just wants more sustain for the push. It feels like, as well as just helping for these dives when they do commit. So mid lane warded here, sinking. They have potential to, when this laser's up again, they have a lot of potential to kill this DP. Just play very careful.
And currently no vision right here either. Sand King, he's moving around for it, has been able to find her. There's a Burrow Strike that connects, but Tree Armor immediately there to keep her alive. And that is the power. It does mean, of course, that you're now sort of spreading your Tree Armor between the tower and between the DP. And 20-second cooldown, they actually might be able to do something here. Now with Bassi on Ame, they're going to need to bring in the Batrider to help defend this tower.
All right, let's see if... I've been watching... Oh, the rune. The rune has spawned 3 times this game on the bottom lane. Tinker could have gotten the last 2 if it spawned top. He's been super unlucky this game. Meanwhile, haste... or not haste. Invis picked up by the DP. DP got her level 6 ulti, so she's super strong. She can solo kill Tinker if Tinker's by himself.
Ooh, bottom lane. There's some action going in, though. They're trying to bring down and kill off the CM. There's a root that comes out, and, well, still thinking about diving this one. A couple more punches. Afu and the Flame Break will be able to find that kill, and they do not end up taking down that tower. You can see they're putting so much commitment towards trying to bring this down before Treant gets his levels up, and it's just not happening.
And that, meanwhile, like you said, that's Sand King. He's not helping facilitate that, right? So he's not helping try and secure these kills in the bottom lane. He's trying to help out the roaming aspect. He's trying to make sure DP doesn't kill Tinker. He's trying to get information. So no glimpse here, no mana. Do they have any shrines? No shrines really up. So at least the one good thing is Magnus. He's had a really good game so far. He's invaded. He's gotten level 6. He has mana boots now. Magnus has done a really good job for himself this game, so he should have a great time rotating in or just helping out wherever he wants to.
Yeah, and, well, still sitting here comfortably. Afu is going to walk into range again of this, and I mean, they need to be a little bit careful. I guess the thing that's tough about it, though, for the Magnus is it's like, he kind of needs that Blink Dagger before he can do anything else in this game, I would imagine. But the root is there now for the tree. Does have the armor for himself, but it's just going to be able to walk away from this with the moment. They don't have enough damage to bring down the tree.
I'm surprised they haven't picked up Dust yet. It is a lot of resources being spent towards the tree, buying all these sentries and whatnot. But another good thing about the Magnus a little bit, as they do pressure the bottom tower. Actually, we'll hold that.
Yeah,
Two
they really
heroes
want to do
here.
this. We'll see if LFY fully commit to try and defend against this. They do have the Firefly to try and pull it past, and they're not actually going to stick around as they saw DP rotate. And that is going to keep this tower alive a little bit longer. The catapult hitting it, they actually have to deny it. That really sucks for them. Would have loved to be able to heal that one back up.
Yep. Meanwhile, top lane, gonna get the glimpse back. Skewer not used here. But this is the thing that I want to talk about real quick is the Magnus. You have CM Aura plus Arcane Boots. That means you're able to spam out unlimited shockwaves against the enemy core. That's why Troll has to go to the jungle. That's why there's a lot of pressure being applied. Meanwhile, bottom lane, down the Batrider. I wanted to mention before too, the Jug, maybe they would have hard committed for the tower if he had level 6. He needed one more creep before that level 6. But he got it there. The first Omni Slash of the game going on the Batrider.
Well, yeah, and now you've taken the tower for Ame. You're right second in CS, right behind the Troll. By and large, I feel like things are going pretty well for him here. Although we are seeing the Troll build now back towards the Vlads, I think. And, well, Magnus chasing down the Disruptor is not going to quite find him as of yet. They're bringing in DP instead. And they do have Glimpse to be able to stop this TP. They don't quite get it in time, though. Might have thought about it there, but doesn't end up happening.
See, in the bottom lane, Batrider is not 6. He just skilled it up, actually. Lasso.
Just outside of range. He can't actually get up to him. The phase boot's keeping him alive.
Yeah, he was debating on whether they could have killed him. Meanwhile, top lane, they got the kill on Disruptor. And then Tree came in. They still do not have... Yeah, they have Dust.
Oh, that really sucks. He wanted to be able to get the bash, but he broke the tether range for the tower, and Magnus is still going to end up going... Or rather, CM rather still going to go down. So trade of 1 for 1.
Yep. And then Magnus, now he's still holding on one of his points for the ulti. Seeing whether or not he needs to skill it. Probably should just skill it here. Meanwhile, now they have the last on the bottom lane. Haste Rune on Bat.
Can pull him back now if they want to go for it. There's going to be the lasso very far back in the laning phase, and can they actually kill him off? I don't know if it's going to happen. They do have some more damage, but the Burrow Strike comes in as well, staying alive just barely. And can they right-click him down the Flame Break? That should be enough. No, he has Blade Fairy back up. He's going to live through that, but Troll Warlord is there now, so they glimpse back the CM. Again, the one to drop. Ame will still live. That's huge.
Yep, they even rotated the Troll down here, so this is a lot of wasted time for them. They're not even putting any pressure on the Tinker this game. So this is actually really good for LGD, even though they just lost the CM. This is time for Magnus and his Blink Dagger. And then, yep, Jug gonna spin through that. Oh, no, he got blocked. He's still dead, though. I hate when that happens. You get blocked by that little crevice there. You try to click through it, and then all of a sudden you get the pathing. You just gotta go around, but still the phase boots able to catch up to the tree.
Yeah. Quite good. I feel like that is, you talk about the Tinker getting this Boots of Travel now online. It definitely feels like it's quite good for LGD. It does sort of worry me a little bit still that your Troll Warlord has gotten so much in this game, and that we still haven't really seen like a DP ulti that could turn the tide of some of these fights. So is that something that if you're LGD, you need to be worried about, or do you just try and keep up the pressure and now just take a bunch of team fights with your first set of items up?
Yeah, a little known fact is when you cast your, oh no, I can't just...
They got him. This is a huge kill right here. Omni Slash comes out as well as Blade Fury, and that's going to be another one.
I mean, you jinxed him.
I did.
You say he's doing good, and then all of a sudden he gets crushed. But another unknown fact about DP is when you cast the Troll ulti, all the ghosts, they attack for faster.
Really?
No, I was just kidding. Trolled so hard, I got him.
I was like, I'm gonna take your word for it. I trust.
I was seeing if I could debate you. I was debating. It worked. It worked.
You got it,
but
man.
Seriously though.
But seriously, they do, right?
No, yeah. Nice try trying to debate you bad. But this is the ghost, like you said. I really want to see it come online, right? It's 12 minutes in the game. They haven't even used it to try to secure a tower, try to secure a kill. The one who's actually gotten the first tower of the game is LGD, so looking really good for them in this early game. And then Batrider, he went for the jumps first, getting a lot more mobility, tanking up a lot more. This means that he's going to slow down his Blink Dagger timing. Smoke broken. Dust. Did they see him? Oh, that almost caught him. Oh, he's got it!
Oh my god, just caught there right at the end, and well, it's going to get the overgrowth, trying to give him the walk away. It's going to throw out another one of those.
Oh, DP?
They're actually trying to turn this. The silence comes down. It would have been great, but they weren't all caught in the kinetic field. Still doing a lot of damage here. They decide suddenly to show up and try and bring them all to hell. That's one down. The RP connects onto 3. Tinker comes in as well.
Epi?
Oh, it's all gone wrong. Epicenter comes out too, but can they kill them all off? 3 are dead right now for LGD, and somehow, someway, they ended up making it work. Tree lives through all of that. What?
Structures are fortified.
It's just...
Oh, Batrider.
Oh, no. Not...
Batrider,
He's got no mana. Wait. Alright, that
no.
flame break.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, you want to have that one back.
That
was a huge kill. That was a huge kill.
I mean, as it is, it would have been like one of the big... This is a really huge moment for LFY, but the fact that you don't end up getting that kill on Tinker, like that would have been over the moon for them, you know?
Yeah, now they can defend their bottom lane. They have... Jug got the tower top. Now they're going to just TP bottom. This should be an easy defense, especially when you don't kill the Tinker there.
Yeah. Silence down. That's going to keep him alive. That might have been a kill on the DP if he doesn't get that silence off. Man. Yeah, that Batrider, they're going to be a little bit upset at him after that one. Got to change something around real quick.
So, a note there is CM didn't have her ulti. If she had her ulti, maybe she could have done a lot more. Silences is really good against the CM ulti, and that's why DP, I feel like DP can counter the CM a lot. Normally, you don't want to waste. Sometimes you have to waste these big ultis on the CM just to cancel her ulti. But when you have this low cooldown silence from DP and all the burst damage that comes in, CM just feels a little bit ineffective. But once the Sand King gets his Blink Dagger, you can see how effective he'll be with his epicenter. If he was able to get in a little bit closer, if he had his stun up, that would have been a team wipe coming in for the other side for LF Young. They would have all died.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, that deny. He actually got it on a disruptor too.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. What a guy.
Oh, just missed the... Man, this is like so close, this game. In that deny by a second, missing the troll TP away by like half a second.
Well, and then it's, you know, it's rather the DP down in the bottom lane who ends up taking a tower by herself. So at the end of the day, it's sort of okay for LFY. LGD now, you got your Tinker closer and closer to that Blink Dagger. He's still had a really great game, but interestingly enough, isn't sitting top of the net worth. It's the Ame Empowered that's kind of been able to take over this game in some ways.
Tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
His power is definitely helping out a lot. He hasn't died either. 5-0, been a part of a lot of kills. Whereas the Tinker has died once. So they're putting the pressure on top lane. This feels bad if you're kind of trading towers as a troll. Normally you want to defend as many as you can, but if you're LGD, you're definitely happy with this situation. Trading towers for when they have the tree like this, and you only have really one right clicker for the towers and the jug. This is what you want.
Yeah. It does look like, though, LGD.Forever Young are going to try and set their sights towards mid next, maybe, that this ward placed down deep behind the tower. This might have been sort of known that this was happening, though. LGD, they did get their creep wave pulled mid by the Batrider, so they might expect a sentry ward, or rather observer ward back there in the mid lane. So we'll see if they end up going for it. But, yeah, definitely into the favor of LGD so far. Is it something, though, like right now, I sort of feel as if there's still, like they haven't really got to play their style of Dota yet, but that their things are starting to come online where they will be able to soon. Like with BKB going to be done in a little while here for the Troll Warlord, that's kind of where their draft really hits high intensity. Is that what you're thinking as well, or is it that they've fallen behind in the laning stage, so it's still kind of rough regardless?
I think their team fight is still superior for LFY. they definitely can make a lot happen. Like we talked about, the vision game for their side is just great, and then as well you said, once Troll has BKB, they have to heavily rely on the Magnus getting these big RPs, or Sand King just getting a stun before he casts the Blink Dagger. But this is kind of obvious what they're doing here. When you're not defending your bottom. Oh, lasso.
They caught on to the Mag. That's a good one right at the start, and they get the silence on as well. That's 2 ultis used for the Magnus, and does have buyback if they want to come and try and defend this. Does look like, though, DP is going to force a coverall back.
They got Troll here. I mean, Tree here.
That's a good one. So 2 heroes end up going down.
They can deward this too. They... Wait, what? Is that Sentry not... What?
It's not. It is in range. I don't know. They're not wanting to go for it yet, I guess. That's really weird.
I'm confused right now.
But LGD...
there we go.
Nice. Yeah, they take it down now. It is still DP with the Invis Rune, and Troll is back up. Tree is going to be there as well. They need to come and defend this if they want to have any hope of securing Roshan for themselves. And Tree TPing in.
Tinker's doing a really nice job right now, split pushing out all the lanes. They're going to take a tier 2 bottom lane here because Tree's saving... Tree's got level 1 living armor.
What?
That's
awful.
It's a little bit questionable. I mean, you get a lot of value from the Nature's Guys, but with the permanent bash that you could see, but I don't know if it's worth it.
Oh, he spots out now the Tinker. They're thinking about going for the RP right there. He's canceling it for the moment.
Lasso's not up for 5 seconds. They can't do anything.
Oh, man. And that really hurts. You'd love to be able to pick that one up. But a big overgrowth comes out. Can they actually take advantage regardless? The RP is already on to 2, and Exorcism, where is it? It is going to do a hell of a lot of damage, but they're fighting a Shrine uphill. Doesn't matter. The DPS is just outside of this world. But still, they end up losing 4. Regardless of what was going on here with the DP, Ame just went completely ham. Now it's in 8-0-1 as they kill off the CM with just the DP runes. They pick up a regen as well. Ame, having already used Omni Slash, can't really stop much, but he has 3,400 gold in the bank right now. He is rich as hell.
What is it called? Basher or something? Diffusal. Yeah, Diffusal. You need Diffusal against the DP here. When she self-fuels and plays defensive, you have to go for that. So it also helps out a lot when you're trying to chase heroes. So this is a game that's going to come down to what seems like Jug versus DP. Both of these heroes are put in a really good position after this last team fight. They still have the Aegis to work with on Jug if they want to try and take down another tower or something. I'm trying to see. Hey,
That was close.
His blink just got up too. That would have been a kill potentially.
Oh, the Fusel Blade charge used. Easy.
Baited.
So 21 minutes into this game, they have Aegis on the Juggernaut. If you're LGD, I mean, this is going about as well as you could have hoped for. Do you think that they're going to try and like force the issue at all, or are they just, I mean, they got a Midas on Mag. They're just comfortable taking this late, huh?
Thing is, I think they do want to go about 15, 20 more minutes, maybe wait till the next Aegis, try and get a pick off, and just keep controlling the map like they have been. That's the strength of this Tinker right now. Get him up to his Aether Lens, get him up to his Ags, by...
Yeah.
And then they finally had the Blink Dagger on Sand King after that last team fight. So they have a lot of tools for catching out LFY. When you would normally think that LFY, they're the ones who want to be looking for all these kills. Tree scouting out, then Batrider coming in, but it just seems like right now LGD are kind of overwhelming them with their map presence.
Yeah. And maybe not having that BKB on Troll in that last fight is a huge part of it. He does have it now, but with Batrider down and, I mean, just the marches being spammed out, it's so hard to take this fight. So, very good position right now for LGD. They take down the last tier 2 tower. Aegis is still going to be in hand for another 2 minutes here. It might be time to make something happen. Maybe wait for the next round of Healing Ward.
They're trying to do a fake back trying to catch somebody who's farming on their own. Almost.
They
Did
got
they get
him.
him? Yeah.
There's the catch on a DP. The skewer back. An RP is going to be there, but no, he's not going to actually get the skewer. The good static storm laid down. They managed to get the Yule Scepter off, but there is already going to be the dead DP, and now dead for 50 seconds. Disruptor also in trouble. They
got
haven't
the
been able
Tinker.
to pull back to the Tinker. Can they actually bring him down? BKB has been popped. They're going to be able to find one. Troll needs to do a lot of work in this fight, but Ame, he is godlike, and they are just running them down. Now no BKB for Troll. They're going to have the control there if he steps up with the CM. I think that this one might be a little bit too much for LGD.Forever Young.
The supports will be back very soon here, so they have a lot of time. Nice gear back.
They got him. No BKB is there. There's the Frostbite. Can they bring him down? Diffusal Blade as well. Manta off the blind, and that's another kill. Ame has all the answers in this game. That's also Bat Rider brought down to very low HP. DP's
They have
back
to
up
commit
shortly.
for this. If they don't commit for this, they're not going to get the tower, so it's good. A lot of damage coming out from that Empower. Do they really want to stay here? Nice
Oh my
skewer.
god. They
Again.
just keep going. He's gone.
Critted.
Oh.
Annihilate.
Ame is just too good right now and does have the Manta style to dispel off all of this damage in a second if he wants to use it, but just gonna Blade Fury instead. And CM looking like maybe they stayed too long, maybe not. There's a Burrow Strike through as well. Sandstorm keeping alive.
Okay, he has 0 defusal charges. He basically used 7 defusal charges in one team fight. He's gonna need to buy that defusal too. Troll up in 9. They don't have tree armor either. They don't have fortify. This is a wreck.
I can't believe how hard LGD is committing for this, but they have been able to catch. It's not going to be enough, though. Ame is still surviving through this. They haven't dealt with the healing ward. Finally, they do go in and make it happen. They wanted to use that Aegis. Just was 1 second away from expiring. It literally was just 1 second away, and it ends up getting back up. It doesn't matter, though. They'll be able to kill him off a second time. Now the glimpse
Tinker
back
glimpse.
in. Tinker in
Aw,
trouble.
man.
They've caught him. LGD stuck around for too long. They didn't need to go in that hard.
It's one of those situations where your troll is your jug is respawning. He has a lot of, like, they used all their items and spells on top of the jug to kill off his first Aegis there with the lasso and stuff. But at the end of the day, they didn't really have a good positioning or way to get back into the team fight to save the jug. So yeah, just try and leave him next time, and then you don't lose your Tinker. And then with Tinker dead, that makes sure that you can push down any lane you want. They're not split pushing with the Tinker. They're not deep pushing and defending the towers. So that's an opening for LFY to at least take one tower and to go on a hunting spree.
Oh, they
so
want
close.
him. They're not going to get there. Oh, Afu. He's so close. Yeah. It was funny up there in the top lane with all of the, China server lag that we get. I saw like the Magnus. I was looking at him for a second, and suddenly he was like halfway across the map up here in the trees. He always gets some interesting games.
He's a Monkey King. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? Not a Magnus.
With the China servers, it's always a bit of a crapshoot as to what's going to happen. Apologize for the lag, everybody, but just know that there's not a whole lot to be done with it. We'll still enjoy the games nonetheless.
What if we don't enjoy the games?
I mean, that's on you, right?
What? No, but you're falsely advertising me. What if it's like a bad movie?
Yeah.
What if
don't-
you're selling me bad movie tickets?
I mean, LGD are making this interesting by throwing the lead away every now and then by diving too deep. So it's a good movie. I like it.
Hey, he had to commit for that Rex, and that
He
was
did.
the only way they could.
Well, no, he didn't have to commit for the Rex. They had to commit for the tower, right? Like then you just go back
no,
and
the
hit shrines.
Rex though. No, the Rex. I mean, they had 9 seconds on Troll left, 5 seconds on the tree. It was already half HP. They had no fortify. That was their best chance to get the Rex.
I mean,
It's
consider this though. Like, what happens if Troll dies a second, or rather, if Jug dies a second later, and then they don't have to use all those spells to kill him, and instead they can glimpse back and like take the fight. You know what I mean? Like that could have gone so much worse for the Radiant.
They still use all their spells on the Troll the first time though. That's the reason why they were still on the Jug the first time. So they still didn't have. They only really had the glimpse to punish one player, and it just so happens that the Tinker was the one that helped him after the Aegis. I think they would have all gotten away, but now there's 2 BKBs on the side of the Dire. They're super strong right now. Solar Crest in hand is going to help out the armor against the Omni Slash. This is going to come down to... Well, they're pushing out top. So this is a tell. See the Slain pushing out top. This tells that the enemy is smoking somewhere. It's pretty obvious. And then that's why all of LGD are just grouping up right now and waiting to see the enemy.
Yeah, literally all 4 of them smoked up inside their own base, and LGD.Forever Young, they can't make anything happen with this. It's going to be hard for them to even push because the creep wave is going to be here. And you see the immediate call. Afu is going to be here to break the smoke of LGD, though. He rocks away, is going to be able to make a little bit of a juke out of there, and, well, he keeps himself alive, and neither smoke is going to end up bearing fruit.
Do they have a gym yet? No, they have 2 sentries on CM. What I really do like is this Magnus build that's coming up. Greaves is really nice against the silence coming in from DP. Can also help out, maybe keep a hero alive. A little bit extra is better than... Although, now that I think about it, I would rather Magnus go Lotus Orb this game. This is a really good Lotus Orb game. You can make sure that if Batrider does lasso you, or you put Lotus on somebody who's sieging the high ground, if he does lasso you, at least the lasso target stays in place there. He's not able to force back. Also, it's really good against the DP. You can normally Yules yourself if you're the DP, but she does have the BKB, so as long as she BKBs and Yules, then she won't be affected by that Lotus. Now, Roche is respawning here in 30 seconds. See how both teams want to approach this. Jim on Batrider.
Okay.
Still not one on the Radiant.
Yeah, a little bit interesting against the tree.
Sand King has it queued up.
All right.
He's Porto. Help him. 300.
Want to be able to get it. And Roche up in 8 seconds now. They're going to be able to go in and... I mean, it's sort of weird because I think with Troll, they can take it really quickly. Also, interestingly, Afu does have the Hand of Midas hit recipe if he wants to buy it, but it looks like he wants to get the Blink Dagger first. Since he's so close to being able to pick that up, and that might change the whole dynamic of this game, getting that finish. But if he had didn't go for the Gloves of Haste first, he would already have the blink.
Yeah, he realized that they were in a bad spot. They need better initiation as well, the tree overgrowth as well as just running in and bashing, or blink in bash instead of just running in. So he realizes that, hey, if I get this Midas, we won't have this opportunity for the next team fight. It would be nice to see him get maybe 1 or 2 creeps, or just get this bounty rune over here so he can secure his blink. But this Roche is so important right now that LFY, they don't give it to them, so that this means that Tree has to stay over here, has to make sure that they're battle ready at any given moment.
Yeah. And Troll Warlord here too, like he's going to be pushing down this bottom lane here, has a TP ready to go in, and actually it looks like they are just going to send the tree over. So this should be enough for it now. Blink Dagger is going to be brought out. We'll see if that can make the difference in these fights. There's a couple things they could end up doing, you know, either obviously blinking onto the background and seeing if they could catch Sand King before he can go in for like a big epicenter combo. That might be a big one. Or just any of them. Like you said, Blink Bash, always very good as well. But actually, they've already used Firefly. It's about to wear off. And they're not going to find anybody with this. They do see one. Static Storm already down. They're got the catch. A really good initiation. Is it going to be enough? The Static Storm wasn't actually on top of the kinetic field in a good position. And now popping DP, BPAB, as well as ulti? I feel like right now, this is a terrible moment for LFY.
DP might have just cost them a lot.
I mean, the Disruptor too.
They have to force this. They have to.
All right, Sand King, he's up in front. You do have the Batrider there. He got caught by the Nova as well as the Frostbite. Ame's still chasing in. There's a lot of physical damage coming in. They haven't been able to bring down the DPS of yet. Troll taking a Lazo. He turns the BKB, wants to fight already though. The Batrider's gone. There's a big RP that comes out. They're not doing enough damage, nearly enough damage. And now they're all gonna end up dying. 4 are dead with no buyback. 5 as well. A triple kill and good game called just like that.
Oh, they had to hard commit there, so I don't blame them. It was like half hard committing though. That was the weird part. DP didn't really run into the Roche pit. They obviously, you feel less less inclined to go into the Roche pit when you don't have that static storm to really help you. So that was a really nice Omni Slash, really nice mag ulti there at the end of the game, kind of securing it there, but no BKB on DP. DP ulti wearing out there towards the end. Very unfortunate that they weren't able to take a better initiative after they had gotten that 3-man overgrowth. They weren't able to really do anything. So it's either on Afu being a little bit too far in front and then not and everybody else not being on the same page, or something along those lines where you're just too far ahead of your team, or at the other side, either I don't know what I'm trying to say now. I'm lost for words.
It happens.
Help, man! I just woke up.
No,
but
you're good. I guess the thing is, like, LGD at the end of the day had a very clear way to victory. You can hit a big RP and you like basically win the game at a certain point, but also with that Sand King, it doesn't have to happen that way, because you can just get the first initiation and then wait for the second one to follow. But yeah,
right. That
game.
Sand King initiation was great, where you're able to just go in and then they kind of baited them all into this one location, and then Magnus is able to just go. Whereas you saw the tree has to go in. They can only really use the Bat Rider lasso on one target. He really couldn't find anybody. As you said, the Disruptor didn't really have a big impact this game. His ultimates weren't really on top of people. And then Tree maybe either waiting. So what I wanted to say is either you wait too long to get a good ulti, or you go too soon to get a good ulti. Mm-hmm. And that time he went maybe a little bit too soon to get a good ulti, and where his team wasn't in a great position. So those are the two sides of the coin sometimes for the worst part. And then obviously in the middle is a great initiation, and then everybody's able there to follow it up like a good static storm. So maybe if they had the Blink Dagger on the Disruptor as well, that could have been an amazing fight for them, and they would have completely steamrolled it. They would have got the Roche for themselves, but it didn't happen that way. And then now we're seeing LGD won this game.
All right, well, we're going to be back in just a few minutes with game number 2, LGD versus LFY, best of 5. We're only just getting started.